Okay, 2007, good luck. I'll just boost the audio slightly, just so I can hear the moves a bit easier. How many games our opponent got? Only 100 games of rapid. I better stick to the carrow. We've done just about 1200 now. Let's go d5. We get the 2 knights. So let's develop our bishop. We can trade. We can play pawn up. I'll just play pawn up. Get this nice pawn structure. Okay, so knight up is a move. We can also trade. I think I'll just play it slow and steady and drop the knight back. As long as we don't get our bishop trapped, that's the main thing that we're looking for here. So take here and then forward looks sensible. Not much else to do. Just develop and attack the knight. I don't think a sacrifice is playable. If he does it, it should be good for us. He could play a move like pawn down. We could try something bold. And maybe c5, we'll just figure it out. That's obviously what he's looking at, because he's taking his time. If it was me, I'd probably just castle, or maybe the bishop up somewhere, and then castle the other side. But yeah, it's always risky when you're playing somebody on a relatively new account or not many games. Mainly Bullet and Blitz he's playing, mainly Bullet and Blitz there. Not many in the rapid. But it could be somebody whose rating isn't quite accurate. Yeah, he's played queen down. So I think we're kind of forced to take, aren't we? We don't have to think about that. He's threatening mate in 1. There's no good move to blockade. So we just have to take. There's nothing really else to do there. So we can't push up here. We can't take. The pawn can't move. So we have to move our queen. So we go here. We can attack 2. There's no immediate knockout blow. So let's come up and attack 2. He might just ignore it and castle. I mean, he can castle queenside and protect them both. He might just do something like that. Then we can always castle here. Or what can we do? Knight up preparing this side if the bishop moves. Pawn up here would attack the bishop, but you couldn't actually take it. And that's exactly what he's gone for. Exactly what he's gone for. So pawn up here we're not actually threatening to take, so it doesn't make any difference. So what about trying to open things up? I'm just going to push and try and open things up here. I actually want to try and go queenside if I can, so I'll move the knight and try and give myself a square, but it feels very loose, doesn't it? Very loose. Yeah, you can just tell from the opening moves I'm playing somebody who's probably stronger than what the actual advertised rating is. You don't know that for certain, but it just, you can tell when the game starts and the moves that are coming. That's what it feels like. Okay, knight in, of course, or in to come in would be a bit problematic. Right now it's not a thing. But if he finds a way to do that, that's a bit problematic. We'd have to castle then, I think. Like, say, pawn down, take, knight in. We're in a bit of trouble. We'd have to castle if that knight check could finish it. Oh, I guess I've got knight. Actually, yeah, is that? Have I blundered here with pawn down? Now I'm looking at it. Have I actually blundered there? Because even knight up, I can't castle here. I can't play here. If he gets knight in, that's a bit problematic, isn't it? And even if I take, he can still play in. So we might have actually blundered here. We might have done here, here, and he creates an anchor for the knight. What can I then do? Oh, maybe I could take this pawn, because that one would be gone. Yeah, that's what he's gone for. Well, he's kind of gone for something similar. But that might allow me just to drop back. But I think queen forward to attack the knight. Or here to attack the knight. But how do I get back? I think I've got to attack the knight this move. So I've got one of 5 options. One of these. So what makes sense? If I go forward here, he can just drop back and attack us. So what if I go here? Let's go here, because if he takes, we're fine to take. But yeah, it might have been a thing there with a4. We'll look at that after the game, see if a4 was a strong move. Okay, he's taken, so we take. Now, there's a natural pawn take there. There's a very natural pawn take there, and drive the king back this way. Here. I think it's probably right to take this one. Castling feels relatively safe now. But it's got to be right to take this pawn. I mean, he's going to threaten to blast on, isn't he? See if I go, oh, maybe I take this one then just because of that. Actually, let's do that. If I take this one, he might have had the immediate c4 rather than c3. So I'm going to develop my knight. Actually, does it matter which way I go? Because I can attack too, can't I? I've got queen back as well to attack this. Ah, but he's got bishop back. So here, he could play bishop back, and he protects both pawns in one go. So does it matter where my knight is? If I go here, it reinforces this, but bishop back allows castling. I don't know if it matters which one I'm on. I'm going to go here, so if he pushes, I can push my pawn on. But he can move his bishop somewhere, and he protects the pawn with the queen. But yeah, we've not quite managed to get cast yet. We've got to try and castle to connect our rooks and get them into the game. Or castle this way if the bishop moves back. But if I castle this way, he's just going to immediately crash in. If I castle this way, there's a whole heap full of trouble coming, and that's exactly what he's gone for. So I can check and maybe check here. It's got to be right to chase him, hasn't it? What about knight back? What about knight back to cover this? I mean, I've got queen back as well. Pawn down's problematic. I think I'm going to have to castle then. And pawn down, can I take? No, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to castle. I'm castling right into his pieces, but I didn't see another move. Very dangerous. Down now, if I take, down again and I take. But he's opening everything up, isn't he? Down and we can take here. But we do have a potential check. If he goes here, we can take. If he goes here, we can check here and try and get the queen active in the center of the board. So that's my concept that I'm looking at, to try and get the queen centralized and maybe drop back. We're what, 7 pawns each, aren't we? So it's level material. It's just a knight against the bishop. But white's king is more open, but white's also got more space on the board. So yeah, I like the idea of this. Check here, see where his king ends up, and then centralize and maybe drop back. Maybe. Yeah, he's really going for it, isn't he? But here now, if he moves, can I just take a free rook? See, has he just blundered his rook? So here, up, here, and he wants rook across. But there, I could just take with a check. And up, and he's going to take, and then what if I go here? I might have to ignore the free rook here. Check here and come across. Yeah, it might be kind of finished, mightn't it? Because I can't really go here either. The game might be just over once he gets this. So I'm going to have to go for this. He'll have to go here, or I guess I can take here. And we're just committed, we have to. We have to just hope the defense... Oh, he's gone there instead. Okay. So this might be a half move. But it's not really a move though, is it? I might have to go here. I wasn't expecting that move. But bishop in and queen in. No, it's just finished. This game is finished, yeah. Doesn't matter where I go, he's going to play bishop down, isn't he? And even if I go here, he's going to be able to play bishop down. And I don't think I can avoid it, but... Let's sidestep then. But I think bishop in just wins the game. Either way, I think it feels like it. See, I take, he plants the pawn, rook across. He's got a move like queen takes, maybe. Is that enough? I don't know. It feels like it, doesn't it? I was expecting the rook to go right across there, not here. Yeah, you can see I'm playing somebody stronger than the advertised rating. I'm not really playing a 2000 level player here. You can just tell very quickly in these games when to start. And what options have we got now? Queen here or here, just to throw a check in. But he can just step away, can't he? And it just feels like there's nothing there. Here, we don't want to really hit this pawn. It's all about defense, and I don't see how I get my queen back. Maybe I've got 2 moves to go here. But here, I don't really have a check apart from here, which I don't want anywhere. So yeah, I need 2 moves to do this. Yeah, we've gone wrong here. Knight check to open it up. I don't think it does anything. Maybe pawn up to go pawn up. but again, it doesn't do a lot. A sacrifice doesn't quite work, I don't think. But here takes, then rook across. Yeah, it's just finished, isn't it? Or maybe I could check and get back, but that's what he'll be looking at. A move like bishop there. The pawn can't move forward, we'd have to take. Pawn takes is problematic. And then he might have this queen sacrifice. Takes. I don't think so, but he might. But yeah, it's not the play of a 2000 this, so I'm playing somebody stronger than this rating. Is it possible to throw a knight check in? Say pawn takes, does it open the king up to checks? I don't see it, but... Or this way, I don't see it. Knight back, he can just take the free knight. Pawn up, he might be happy that just to trade off in any event. I guess he just goes this way, doesn't he? Yeah. Bishop here, up. He's going to get rook across, isn't he? Once he's done something like this, rook across, and you just think, well, how can you defend? Maybe there's a check and back. So if he gets his king to a position where there isn't a check, then I can't get back. I've got to be able to get to this square, and I need at least 2 moves. But if he goes there now, I can do it. Yeah, that's what he's played for. And I can't ignore it. There's no point in thinking. We have to take. It's the only move. Only move there, so... Rook check, now we take. That is obviously fatal, isn't it? So what can I do? Can I play queen here to threaten this pawn? But we're actually trying to get here, so that's no good. So I need to go here then. Threatening a check and back. But equally, if he goes here, then I can come across, right? If I go across now, he can simply go here. Ah, but then I've got the check. Here, I can check and back. So is rook across a move? If he takes, I just take his rook, and there's no check. So maybe rook across is the move. Here we check and we retreat. I don't see another move, so I'm going to play it. I don't think he can take the rook. We're up a rook and a knight, but we're king's too vulnerable. Oh, I've just blundered checkmate, have I? Take, check. No, I'm out. Phew, I thought I blundered that sacrifice mate there, but I don't think I have. My saviour potentially is the fact that if he goes here, I can take with a check and retreat. And that feels like I'd be safe if I could get that in. Especially if we get rid of this pawn. So that's, I don't think that's a move. I could even take and just take the rook, and 2 rooks and a queen, 2 rooks and a knight against a queen. In principle should be good for us. So if I can just swap my queen for the rook, I should be in the game. But it's whether he's got this knockout checkmate. Here, I think I'm fine to take. So there, I don't think that does anything though. Because I can take and I cover the checkmate threat with my rook. If he takes, I just take his queen, right? So I think that's... I don't think that's a thing. I think he's gone wrong. Because he can't take back. Just hangs the queen. He's gone wrong. He had us beating all ends up there. That's what it felt like. That was really tough defense. It feels like he's stronger than a 2000 player. But let's just see what it was in engine speak. So we have 23 moves, so they're the move times for both players there, and he was playing it silly fast as well for a rapid game at the start. Really quick at the start. Yeah, we're completely hopelessly lost here. So we've blundered on move 19, and it's a forced checkmate, and then he's missed it, and he's blundered it away. But yeah, it feels like he's stronger than a 2000 there. So the accuracy figures are all over the place, 62 and 43. Not good, but you can tell when the game starts that he knows the theory, so he's a strong player. So this is all completely level, but no, I should have played this pawn up and not taken the knight. So taking the knight was a mistake. I should have played the pawn up. Okay, and then I've ended up getting my queen a bit misplaced. Yeah, I had to play a pawn up here, even though it's a bit counterintuitive because you're not going to take. Your rook would be hanging, but h6 was the best move. Oh, he's got this sacrifice with knight takes, pawn down. This is where I thought about a4, wasn't it? Instead of knight across, I thought a4 might be a move. But the right move was knight takes d5, e takes e6. We have to ignore it in castle. Get yourself the piece. takes. That's what we should have actually done. So knight a4 was a blunder. Then we're better, and then we blundered it away on move 19. So it was correct to take this pawn. And then here, yeah, I went wrong here moving the king. I should have got my queen back immediately, threatening this check to cover. And that was just the losing blunder, forced checkmate. So bishop in was good, we had to take. And then here, he has queen down. Queen down, it's just a forced checkmate because he threatens mate here and he threatens it here. And he's just missed it. And there's no defense there, there's no defense. If he sees queen here, then that's it, it's finished. But here, he's allowed rook across, and then it's somehow saved it for us, yeah. But I think his rating's going to end up a good bit higher than that. It's not a 2000 level player, that he's comfortably stronger than that.